Thank you all so much for coming here today to this incredible, amazing event that we have been working so hard on over the last couple of years with a lot of people and a lot of effort, and in particular the vision of two extraordinary alumni of the college. So I'm really excited that we're going to be honoring today two of our alumni from 1977, Gary Hill, who is the president of Union Concrete, and Jimmy Smith, there he is, president of Advanced Testing. They are lifelong best friends who were roommates here at the college, and love the college so much and attribute their great success to being here. We're so glad to have them back, and we're so thankful for their vision and excitement of our program, but also in the industry, and to really spearhead our campaign and get so many people involved and excited. So we also have some special alumni that came back that are really excited about it, and we're just thrilled that students can be involved with this today to see what alumni can do in giving back to the program and to really help your education. We also have industry people here today doing training. So Jeff Marshall, who is one of our retired faculty that we miss, is here doing training, and so it's really exciting to have industry people here as well to be able to learn and continue their education in this incredible space. So it's quite a transformation from what it was, for sure. So of course, as successful business owners and philanthropists and community members, which you are, Jimmy and Gary are perfect examples of the best of our alumni. And so after graduating from high school, they both decided to attend here in 1975. And again, they say that the decision was the great foundation for their success in their future. So Professor William Bruce, or Doc Bruce as they called him, was an extraordinary influence at the college and also in their lives. And to honor him and enhance the students' education, they came up with the idea for this campaign to renovate the construction materials laboratory and name it on behalf of their beloved professor, which this is the wall of donors that we have for this project. So they identified the need and were so passionate about it, they both pledged $100,000 to this project. They also had us traveling all over to different industry events and introducing us to so many incredible people and so many donors that are part of the college, but some that weren't, but they just respect and have so much love for you both, and knew that if you were behind a project, that they knew that it would be important to support that as well. So the lab is also really important for us for high school students, as we have visitors coming to campus and looking at it. We want students to look at this space and be like, wow, I want to learn in here, and what a great opportunity. So that's really exciting. And so we really just want to thank both of you, Jimmy and Gary, for your endless effort and support of this program and of the college and all that you do for Alfred State. So thank you for that. And now I would like to introduce Dr. Craig Clark to say a few words.
Thanks, Danielle. Very excited. One of the things I used to teach was in this lab, and the person that hired me was Dr. Bruce. And so he has a real place in my heart. I've been talking to the family. They're very excited. I talked to Pete yesterday. Unfortunately, his wife, Beth, could not make it. But they're very excited about the fact that alumni came back and showed that fact that what he did over the years made a difference. And Doc really did make a difference. When I came here as a freshman faculty in 1979, what I noticed and what I saw through the whole time I worked with him while he was here is one thing he did is he always connected the students with industry. I know Jeff was one of the interns, right?
Yep.
He had an intern program before internships were actually popular. I know Gary and Jimmy will talk about how he helped land jobs for everybody. His connection with industry was pretty amazing. He would take people on field trips all over, and I think that was very important. He wanted to make sure that students got outside of the lab and experienced what the real world was like, and also got in contact with other companies and leaders and business leaders. What's interesting is over the years I've met a lot of, and these are two of the graduates, but I've met many graduates. I've met Steve Bosworth just recently from McFarland Johnson. He was And he talked fondly about Doc, how he changed his life, and he became a civil engineer after he got out of here, ended up with Bergman for 30 years, then with McFarland, and basically he's run that organization out of Saratoga. And he talked about how Bill sat down and guided him in the right direction. You hear those stories all the time about what Doc did. He spent the extra time with students. He was not just a faculty member, but a true advisor. He started the AGC chapter here and went on to help build a scholarship program at AGC, and I'm glad he did, because my son got one of those. But he's the one that started that whole AGC scholarship program. He stayed connected with the college. We started, this lab now is used, and it's used today, for industry certification. We're the only place in New York State that does QC QA certification, and that's all because of Jimmy and some other alumni. They started that in 1994, and I got proof that actually Jimmy passed that first certification, right?
I understand you had to change some of the numbers and really appreciate it.
But he was one of the first ones that got certified in 1995. We would have not been able to write the manual without the help of his company. They were doing the same thing in New England at the time, and they were looking for some place to do it. And luckily, Jimmy knew that we were one of the few colleges that teach asphalt, and Doc was an expert in that area, so we brought that back to the college. We've been doing it since 1996. We certify 100 to 150 people every year, and you can do the math. That's a lot of people we certified over the years. And we do make most of them come here, except for one course is taught at Jimmy's facility down in Campbell Hall. He supported us, and I've been down there the last 20 years doing a course down there where we use some people that don't want to travel up here. I don't know why. Why is that, Jimmy? They don't want to travel up
I
here.
don't understand it either. It's a beautiful ride when it's sunny out.
But we go down and I certify a number of AT advanced testing employees as well as other people. And Jimmy is one that, just like Gary, they give back, and they give back not just to the college, they both give back to the communities. And that's what we're so proud about. They're real good representatives of the college, and both have been very active in AGC over the years. And that's been a very big difference. It's really helped all of our students and all of our faculty. And we continue that today, right? We still work with the AGC quite closely.
Still have a student club and still have many students earn the New York State AGC scholarship every year.
Right. So that it's made a big difference in everyone's lives. But we're really proud, and Doc would have been very happy about this lab. He would have been very happy that two of his alumni came back to honor him. And I know, like I said, his family is very encouraged about that. So thank you both for the work that you did. Thank you.
I would have Dr. Erin Batal and John Williams speak.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Me first. Okay.
Do you have notes?
I did. I prepared remarks. So, hi everybody. I'm John Williams, Dean for the School of Architecture, Management, and Engineering Technology, and certainly assisting Erin. I can't thank her enough in terms of what she's done and for this space for our students and continues to do. So a few remarks about impact. We talk about impact that space will have industry on students. And quote by Dale Carnegie, I think sums it up best, is, and it is, knowledge isn't power until it's applied. And so, Alfred State, our legacy of applied learning, and this state-of-the-art facility, represents the very best, one of the very best experiences we have at Alfred in terms of bringing students in, having them learn, the points of having tours and kind of inspiring the next round of professionals through high school visits and tours. I know it's always one of the stops I have if I ever have a group, and even more so. So trying to get the next Jimmy, the next Gary, the next Erin into a great career, and this certainly helps us all. So Alfred State graduates will continue to be recognized for their competence and skills as a direct result of the capabilities provided by this lab. And industry will also continue to find a capable partner as we produce the future leaders of the industry and explore some of the exciting new technologies, and from research with new faculty, and it's really helping change the department. So it's a new tool for the dedicated faculty of the Civil Engineering Technology Department to continue to help shape students' lives and trajectories and hit the ground running. So thank you, Jimmy, Gary. And a closing quote, again thinking of legacy, so from Doc, Bruce, Gary, Jimmy, You know, the great use of life is to spend it for something that will outlast it, and that was by William James. And so, you know, think of, you know, legacy of Doc Bruce, and now, you know, you guys and the continuing, and now the future. So, such a great project. Thank you all, and thanks for coming. Erin?
I just wanted to say thank you, Gary and Jimmy. We could not have raised the money to do this without you and your support, and it was been a great pleasure of mine. I'm very passionate about students entering our industry and construction and surveying and soon design with our new BS Civil Engineering Technology starting in the fall. That it's just such an opportunity, and I'm so excited to give that opportunity, and I feel honored that I get to build on such a legacy of, you know, normally when people think of college faculty, not, you know, can be a little like bookish, and I think we're building on a great legacy of get beyond the book and see what industry needs and wants and trying to fulfill that. And then I have a couple students in here that super excited for them to go into the industry, and it's a great feeling, and both of you made this possible, so thank you.
Okay, and Dr. Morrow?
Thanks, Danielle, and thanks everybody. I mean, I don't know what I could say that hasn't already been said. I unfortunately never had the honor to meet Doc Bruce, but I have had the privilege of meeting Jimmy and Gary and so many others who have contributed to this cause. And you know, here's kind of what I've heard: somebody who's willing to go the extra step, the extra mile, get to know the students. Right? Get to know what they're all about, what they're strong in, what they're weak in, what it is that they need to do to get career ready, and make sure that they do that. Not only that, but with fellow employees, right? To be able to mentor young faculty as they come in, bring them up, allow them to see what it means to really be student focused, to really give up everything that you have on behalf of the college and for the love of the work that you do. That to me sounds very much like what I heard Doc Bruce has been throughout the years for so many, certainly for Jimmy and Gary, but for so many more. I mean, these are legends of the institution, and what they do is they allow us to continue to cultivate that. And so, you know, we have people like Jeff who's here, and Aaron who's here, and that mentality still rings very true today. To the legend of what Doc Bruce created. That idea that we are going to spend the time on you students to be able to go through the motions with you, to grow and develop and get you the training that you need so that you can succeed in the real world. That's what we're all about at Alfred State College. And that's the kind of legacy that Doc Bruce has created. And that's the kind of philanthropy that you've allowed to have happen here today. So can't thank you enough for that. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the many others who were also involved in that effort. Danielle and her whole team in advancement have just done great work throughout this process. Excited to see you here today, Jay, who's also played a pivotal role in this. Very grateful to see Rich and many of our Developmental Fund Board members who are also here today supporting the cause and the effort. And of course, our faculty and staff who are also here just rallying behind this effort. So it's a really great thing to see. Beyond grateful that you're all here today to celebrate the Doc Bruce Construction Materials Lab. So thank you very much.
And Jimmy and Gary, would you both like to come up and say a few words, and then we can cut the ribbon?
So this is absolutely awesome, and I'd like to recognize it. Doug Akums from our class of 77, he's here. And we have another alumni of 77. My daughter Carly was born 1 week before. I didn't want to give her age out, but our life here was awesome, and our involvement with Doc Bruce and the AGC student chapter led to so many opportunities for the members of our class. And I always say that Doc Bruce was into networking before there was even the term networking. And we used to go on site visits, whether it be down to a park and ramp down in Elmira, or we go down to a National Asphalt Paving Association meeting in Baltimore. And all that networking taught many of our classmates how to interact with the industry. Just a few weeks ago, some of the students here were at a site visit for the Great Lakes cheese. And just that connection that's made between the professors, the students, and the industry is so critical. Because we need to continue to have that connection between the industries and the education. So that was the part that I remember the most about Dr. Bruce. He would come up, even after he retired, he used to come up to the AGC Technical Conference and talk to so many people, some graduates, some just people in the industry that he met over the years. So he had a lasting impact on us. And people like Alan, I recognize Alan, he's been so great for the college and the construction side. So that's all I just remember about this experience. As far as the lab, Jimmy, everyone knows he went into testing. I look at all these bowls and sieves, and if anyone talked to my wife about my cooking abilities, they would understand why I didn't do real well in these courses.
Just to paraphrase Lou Garrett, you know, as a Yankee, his greatest memory, he has so much to be thankful for. It was the best thing of his life to be a Yankee player, play for the Yankees. I'll paraphrase that, and I'll go into how I feel the same. But very fortunate that I had the opportunity to go to Alfred State College and to be amongst the greatest professors that I've ever met over the years, going to different colleges and universities and training and certifying, and to see that trickle down or trickle up to 2023. It's the same situation here at Alfred. It's a same type of professors that are so dedicated and committed to not only the campus but to the students themselves. And the number one thing they were always concerned about was our careers. They wanted to make sure we were placed in the right job for the right person, for our personalities, and that you'd succeed in life. So after college, and after we spent hours here in the laboratory, and I'll just reflect back to the lab itself. When Dr. Bruce developed this lab originally, and then it was the Rockefeller era, and he received grants he applied for grants for laboratory equipment, and he had the foresight of the equipment is buy two pieces of equipment of everything. So if you saw a shaker or you saw a compressor strength machine, or two of them, because he never knew what the economy was going to be 20 years from that point when the equipment would exceed its life cycle. And that's the type of foresight that individual had, and it's really amazing. And that's why the legacy here in this lab is a 40-year legacy. So it's 40 years later, 40 plus years later, we now raised the money, built a beautiful facility, and we're dedicating it to Dr. Bruce. So with that being said, I can't thank you all enough for being here today, and all your past support and future support, and we look forward to showcasing the facility. So thank you very much for your time.
Okay, scissors.
Aha.
Did you get a pair?
Oh.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Steve and Craig, you two should
Sharon
come up
gets
too.
scissors that matches
And
his shirt.
Aaron.
So I've used these before, the tips cut better than the back.
Okay. That's a good
That's a
tip.
pro tip right
Yeah.
there.
Are we ready? Are we in?
1, 2, 3.
Good job.
There you go.
So I'm going to test. I'm going to test Gary and Jimmy's knowledge. You recognize those guys on that shirt?
Yeah.
We're back, Bruce.
Yeah.
Tom Joyce.
Yeah.
Is that his shirt?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm Doug's on.
Doug's on there too.
So I graduated in 1981, Doc Bruce, and I was fortunate to come back and teach his last semester here. So I sat side by side him and got it from that side. But we had a student in my class that made up the
the wall like you'll see for the presidents of our faculty, and Doc Bruce is in here. I don't know how, I've had the shirt for 1981. I don't wear it, I wash it. 1981, so.
That's cool.
Have a frame it.